So now we will continue with our regular prarthana, short dhyan, and then we will begin with chapter 9, Raja Yoga, and continue from there. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Chakshurnamilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Deva Maheshwara, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Stavaram Jangamam Vyaptam Yatkinchita Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapityata Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Pataya Pradhyayini Mambatamanasan Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stuvanti Devaihi Stavaihi Vedaihi Sangapadakro Mopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthi Tadgatina Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Viduhu Surasura Ganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhya Mokshayishyami Mahasucha. And now we will follow Dhyan, and I will bring you back. Om. 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 We are just beginning chapter 9 now. The name of the chapter is Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yoga, the yoga of sovereign science and sovereign secret. There is something he's going to talk about, the royal science. He has continued some from chapter 8, some in chapter 7 also. So slowly he is disclosing himself, his true personality. And we all have observed that Arjun was probably pondering over, because he hasn't spoken about all these narratives. He didn't ask a question something like, oh, Keshav, how come you never told me about all these things? I didn't know, but look like he is also spellbound. He's thinking probably how far he is going this way. What is he going to show me? So he is kind of too much in concentration and not have any room in his mind to ask the question about, oh Keshav, what is going on here? All these marvelous things you are telling, I didn't even know any time before. So that is one of the reasons there is the phrase here, the sovereign science, royal science, unbelievable science. And the reason is, just think about one of your friend may be visiting you and sometime he's started, oh, you didn't know, but I was like this. Do you know that? No, you didn't know that. Sri Krishna didn't use that phrase. You didn't know that. He is just slowly and in a very methodological, anchoring the logic superbly. He is waving his Mahatmya. So let's kind of see what is he going to say about. There are two things going on, if we have observed in chapter 7 and 8. And is also continued now in chapter 9. One part is how much omnipresent he is. He's counting so many things so far. I'm here, I'm there, I'm this, I'm that. And we are running out of the room that, oh, for some place he is going to say, oh, no, I'm not that. But that has not happened yet. He is everything. And an intelligent person will slowly realize that he's driving towards Advaita. He's driving, it's not complete yet. It is going to be complete in the Vishwaswarup Darshan. However, There is the motion going on. I'm this, I'm that. So what is happening, an intelligent reader will definitely notice at this point that he's building the notion that he is Advait. And in stanza number 4 and 5, there is a marvelous things coming here. Advait to the point that even what you see in the physical world doesn't exist. I am that also. So just wait until that stanza number 4 and 5, and you will see that. That is one thing. So he is introducing himself. And the second thing he is building is in chapter 8, we saw how the yogi, the ordinary person, will die and the soul will depart through the apertures, means the open part of the body, the eyes, ears, mouth, etc. The trained yogi will concentrate between the two Brahma. And now the soul is preparing to depart from the skull. I gave the example of Swami Vivekananda last time. So this is the second part. And then that yogi is going into imperishable, unmanifest, the dot in the Omkar. So we have seen that part in chapter 8. The remaining two, he's coming in this chapter. He's going to say how a person after death will go in Swarga. What does he do to attain Swarga? The third part is what does a human being do so he come back and go back and come back and go back in Mrityu Sansar. Sansar means in the world, but there is an adjective again, Mrityu. Such a world where the Mrityu occurs, you cannot avoid that. So he's talking about three different places. There is a fourth one also, which we will talk later on. But the three, one is avyakta and imperishable, unmanifest and imperishable. Buddha has gone there, Mahavir has gone there. You don't come back. Does anybody have a question anytime, Sometime I feel that way. Oh, really? If I want to go to that akshara, imperishable, avyakta, unmanifested, if I want to go to that place, like as if we are relocating to another town, we are going to buy the house, we will see the community around, a lot of things. Are we preparing for avyakta and akshara? We are not. Why? Because we never have asked the question, how is that place? I want to see that first, and then I will go. Nobody asked the question, therefore nobody want to go there. Fine, fantastic. Then there is a second place in the top portion of the Omkar, below the half moon. That is where the Devlokas live, Swarga. That will be coming in stanza here. Two stanzas there he has dedicated how you will go to Swarga. And then he says, hey, hey, don't get too excited about Swarga. Be patient. Because as soon as the moment all of your accrued good deeds, punya, the moment all the good deeds expires, the bank balance is zero now. You cannot go to the bank and stand in line to borrow some money. No. From Swargalok, you come back to again Mrityulok, Mrityu Sansara Sagar. Again the same cycle. Again there will be the death. Again there will be staying 9 months in your mother's womb. Again the childhood. Somebody will beat you, somebody will torture you, and that is the childhood. Somebody would love you also. But the childhood is when you are a child, you don't know how much you are going through. But when you are grown up and imagine about the childhood period, you will be frightened. The second is the young age. Lot of struggle. Lot of struggle. Go to school, marry, sometime get divorced, have children, all that type of thing. And by the time you will attain a little pinch of wisdom, that is the old age. In the old age, you will have a pinch of wisdom. Oh, I should have done that way. Oh no, I screwed up. What can I do? Too late. That is old age. Mostly miserable, except few who have extremely well followed the 4 stages, the brahmacharya avastha, grihasthashram, vanprasthashram, and sannyasa avastha. Very few people may be there. Very few. Not even 1 in a million. So the old age is something where there may be a lot of repentance and all that type of thing. So anyhow, in chapter 8, he explains how the soul will go to avyakta akshar, the dot of the Omkar. Then in the 8th, he also said how the person would come back to Mrityu Sansar, but in this chapter also he's going to retouch those 2 things again, one going to Swarga and another coming back to earth. So that is the kind of story in this chapter involved. So you want to be very peaceful, attentive, and see what you want to select. What is your goal? On one hand, there is an infinite quality Sri Krishna is describing about himself. That is one puzzle. When would I be able to know all those things? The second puzzle is what after I will depart? Where am I going? Are we prepared for that? If not, how are we going to prepare for that? My friend, that is not only a religious philosophy, but it is the philosophy of the science, supreme science. Where am I going to go? Supreme science. That is why he has the label here, the yoga of sovereign science and sovereign secret. So that is what we are beginning now. I have given you a little bit of perspective, not to frighten you, but to really put the head for two things. How to know the multitude of the personality Sri Krishna is exposing himself, number one thing. And number two, where do I want to go? Where? Where do I want to go? How would I go there? And no reason to be frightened, because this is such a science you can start anytime. Not a problem. Not only that, but regardless whether you go with the speed of a hare or speed of a slow animal, that's okay. Not a problem at all. Go with any speed. Not a problem. Okay. So here Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Idam tu te guhyatamam. Oh, guhyatamam. It's a superlative degree they call. Guhya means secret. And something which is secret among the secrets is called guhyatamam. Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave. He is calling Arjun Anasuya. And the reason is the same as I explained before. So far, he has not raised the question, oh, Krishna, you never told me that you are such a figure. He didn't say. So there is a phrase in Sanskrit for that type of person. ગુજરાતીમાં એને પંચાત્યો કહેવાય. જરી જરીમાં વાંધા કાઢે, જરી જરીમાં જાણે ઇન્ટેલિજન્ટ સવાલ પૂછતા હોય એવું સવાલો કરે. એને એને ઇંગ્લિશમાં કેવિલિંગ કહેવાય, કેવિલ. So Arjun is not cavilling. That is why the Sanskrit word he picked is anasuya. And anasuye means one who is not cavilling. Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave. Hey Anasuyave, hey Arjun, hey you somebody who is not cavilling, I'm going to tell you the most secret pravakshyami bhavishya card. I'm going to tell you. What is he going to tell now? That is in the second line. Gnanam vignana sahitam. Knowledge and the realization. Knowledge with sahitam means with realization. Yat gnatva mokshase ashubhat. Mokshasya, again it is Bhavishyakar. Ashubhat means from evil things. I'm going to tell you something, some very secret thing, which is the Gnan, and which is also the realization, uh, by knowing which you will avoid the bad thing. Ashubhat means from evil things, evil happening. So he begin with that. So I think we are going to be attentive now. Oh, what is Sri Krishna um, going to tell now? That is what we have to see here. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyaksham Avagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. And he's describing about our Rajavidya, secret science. It is so much good, so much pavitram, purifier. Pratyaksha avagamam dharmyam. Pratyaksha avagamam means by direct intuition. You don't have to bring another reference or something, but by direct intuition, you can understand. Susukham means easy, easily understandable. Kartum avyayam. Avyayam means imperishable knowledge. That knowledge will never die. Imperishable knowledge. And kartum means you are able to do that. So he's saying that this sovereign science, the sovereign secret, the supreme purifier, is directly realizable, and it is in accord with dharma, very easy to practice and imperishable. So he's kind of describing what type of knowledge he is going to uh, give to Arjuna. Asraddhanaha purushaha dharmasya asya parantapa prapyam mam nivartante mrityu sansar vartmani. Here is what he is saying. Who is going to come back and go again and again to the mortal world? The people who have no faith in this kind of dharma, means whatever I'm going to tell now, those people, they will come and go from the mrityu sansar, means in the world where there is the death. So that is what he's saying. So right here is the answer about like who is going to come and go in the mortal world. The people who have never exhibited any good shraddha to this kind of easily understandable science, those people, they have no other place. They cannot go to Swarga and they cannot go to that imperishable Akshar Avyakta also. Those people will come here. Now the fourth stanza, Maya tatamidam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. I am enveloping the avyakta jagat. The avyakta, the form of this jagat is avyakta. I'm enveloping. Mattani sarvabhutani nacha aham teshu avastitaha. In me all the beings, but I am not in them. Now in this stanza, he says that Matthani sarvabhutani. In me all the beings. In the second, he is going to say something contradictory, which we have to resolve. In the second, he says, second means the fifth stanza, he says, Nacha mattani bhutani paschame yogam aishwaryam. In the fourth, he said, the bhutanis are in me. But now he says, Nacha mattani bhutani, but the bhutanis are not in me. So what happened then? But then he says, Paschame yogam aishwaryam. Bhuta brut, nacha bhutastha. Bhuta brut means I'm supporting all these beings. Nacha bhutastha. I'm not in the beings. Mamatma bhuta bhavana. I'm propelling all these beings and I'm also supporting them. However, I am not in them and they are not in me. In the fourth stanza, he had said, the Bhutanis are in me, but I am not in them. But over here, he says, Bhutaniye marama nati ne uete na te loko ni andar nati. How this thing happen? Let's try to understand this thing, what is happening here. These two stanzas are eye-opening stanzas. In fourth, he has a bit of duality. The Avyakta himself and the physical world. So in the fifth stanza, he's conceptualizing Pashyame Yogeshwaram. He's conceptualizing that this physical world is nothing but like a ghost on the post. The post થાંભલો અને એની ઉપર કોઈને ભૂત દેખાયું રાત્રે જતો હોય ને, પણ એ તો થાંભલામાં દેખાયું. So in the fifth stanza, he's saying, whatever you see, the physical world is nothing but like a ghost. It doesn't have a real physical existence. And that is true because every kalpa, it will go back to the real one. At the beginning of the kalpa, it will come out again. So it doesn't have, it is like a ghost. Appear, disappear. Appear, disappear. So that is why he's bringing the point that there is no ghost or the ghost has no real reality. It is me. See the true Advaita he is bringing? It is me alone exist here, nothing else. Very difficult to grasp this idea. Very difficult. Why difficult? Because we have the habit to argue and understand only through the puppet mind. We have not yet gone beyond the mind to understand this dual and non-dual thing, to understand the reality that there is only non-dual and nothing, any physical thing, would be difficult to grasp by the mind. Because the eyes see the sky, the stars, the planets, the physical world. But if you stop thinking through the mind, you know that that physical world is not in existence ever. It is like a ghost, appear, disappear, appear, disappear. So to grasp the concept of a ghost in this physical world is probably difficult, probably. And if it is difficult, don't torture yourself. Believe in the ghost. There is post and there is ghost. But remember, there is a difference between the real post and the ghost. The ghost has the characteristics of coming and going. Coming and going. જરાકમાં દેખાય ને પાછું બંધ થઈ જાય. That you have to keep in mind. And then you will really see that one who is really there. And since there is no ghost, so that is why he is saying the Bhutanis are not in me, contrary to the fourth stanza. In the fourth, he has visualized the ghost as a real thing. In the fifth, he says, no, 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 that is not real. So you have to really fine-tune either the mind or logic or something. But Dhyan is the one thing you resolve these issues. Because in Dhyan, after the first stage where the mind is annihilated, when the mind stops existing, and from that point on, when you try to move on, the ghost disappears. There is no ghost. And so you will be frightened because you want to hold on to the universe. Where is my universe? Where is the moon which I saw through the window? No, there is nothing there. Ghost disappear. That comes in the second stage of dhyana. And Dhyan happens by two things mainly. You want to live, or we all want to live very, very logical life. Number one thing. And number two things, understand this glory of the Supreme. And the thought occurs, why there should be disturbance when I'm approaching towards the Supreme? So all the dirt of the mind will slowly get dissolved. It is the dirt of the mind pop out in the time of Dhyan. So Dhyan doesn't have any physical. It has to happen because of your own way of living the life, number one thing. And number two things, understanding the Advaita. And when these two will go parallel, which is not going to happen overnight, which you think when you go to sleep, oh, tomorrow morning I will do dhyan. Oh, really? No, no. No, sir. Every moment you want to live the right way. One single mistake in the life will haunt you 50 years later. Oh, I should not have done that. At the time of dhyan, I'm kind of showing you, not scaring you. It's a simple way to do if we live the life in a simple way. Do not want to make it too complex. No. Life is very precious, too short, unpredictable. For what? So, that is what that is. These are all related to these stanzas going. Now he is saying, Yatha Akasha Sthitah Nityam Vayuhu Sarvagaha Mahan Tatha Sarvani Bhutani Mattani Iti Upadharaya. So he's simplifying this stanza 4 and 5 that, hey guys, if you have hard time understanding those stanza 4 and 5, just think about that you are like the wind who eventually settled in the sky, you know. So there are simpler way to understand. There are complex way to understand also. Something not new. We have seen this in stanza 8 also. Sarvabhutani kanteya prakritim yanti mam ikam. Kalpakshaya punahatani kalpadav visrujamyaham. He says, at the end of the kalpa, that we saw that, Brahmani night and day, that is kalpa. At the end of the kalpa, all these bhutani, sarva bhutani, prakrutim yanti, મારી પ્રકૃતિમાં સમાઈ જાય છે. And then કલ્પાદવ, અને નવું કલ્પ શરૂ થાય ત્યારે હું ફરીથી પાછો બધાને વિસૃજામ્યહમ, હું ફરીથી પાછો સર્જન કરું છું. જોયું? એટલે આવે ને જાય. અને પાછું હવે કોઈ કૃષ્ણને એમ કહે કે નો નો નો, તારી પ્રકૃતિમાં મને નથી સમાવવાનો, હું તો અહીંયા જ રહેવાનો, તો તેની ચોખવટ કરે છે. હવે ના ભાઈ ના, એવું ચાલવાનું નથી. કારણ કે એ તો બધું મિકેનિકલ જ બન્યા કરે છે. તે કહે છે હવે, એટલે ધીરજ ધર, તારો અંત આવશે એટલે પ્રકૃતિમાં જતો રહેવાનો, અને પાછું હું સર્જન કરા ત્યારે પાછો આવશે તું. ગભરાય કે નહીં ગભરાય, કઈ એમાં ચાલવાનું નથી તારું. તેનો જવાબ આપે છે અહીંયા 8માની અંદર. પ્રકૃતિમ સ્વામ અવષ્ટભ્ય. અવષ્ટભ્ય એટલે મેકેનિકલ. વિસૃજામી પુનઃ પુનઃ. વારે ઘડી હું તો પુનઃ પુનઃ વારે ઘડી સર્જન કર્યા કરું છું ભાઈ. ભૂતગ્રામમ ઇમમ કૃત્સ્નમ અવશમ પ્રકૃતે અવસાદ. વારે ઘડીએ આ બધા ભૂતગ્રામમ મીન્સ આ બધું જે multitude of beings. એ બધાને પૂરેપૂરું હું હેલ્પલેસલી, કોઈ આવવા માગે કે ના માગે તો તેની તેની એને કોઈ સડાબારી નથી. એ તો જવાના ટાઈમે જવાના, આવવાના ટાઈમે આવવાના બધા. અને એ બધું મારી પ્રકૃતિમાંથી નીકળે, પાછું મારી પ્રકૃતિમાં સમાય. એને કહી દીધું. અને કોઈને એમ થશે કે ઓહો, આટલું બધું ધંધો લઈને બેઠેલો છે તો એને તો કેટલા બધા કર્મો ચોંટવાના આવે. ના, તેનું એ નિરાકરણ કરે છે. હવે ન ચ મામ તાની કર્માણી નિબધ્નંતિ. ના ભાઈ ના, એ કર્મો મને બાંધતા નથી. ન ચ મામ તાની કર્માણી નિબધ્નંતિ. કેમ નહીં બાંધે એને? કારણ કે ઉદાસીન વત આસીન અસક્તમ. ઉદાસીન વત મીન્સ ઇનડિફરન્ટ. અરે ભાઈ, આવે ને જાય તેમાં મારે શું? એ ઉદાસીન વતનો મિનિંગ એ છે. એવી રફ ભાષામાં નથી કહ્યું એને કે આવે ને જાય તેમાં મારે શું, એમ ના કહ્યું એને. એણે એમ કહ્યું કે ઉદાસીન વત મીન્સ કે હું તો ઇનડિફરન્ટ. એ આવે ને જાય, મારું નામ નહીં લો, હું વચ્ચે પડેલો નથી. ઉદાસીન વત આસીન, ઇનડિફરન્ટ બેઠેલો છું. આસીન અસક્તમ, આસક્તિ વગર. તે શું કર્મશું, એ બધું જે લાવવાનું, પાછું સંકેલી લેવાનું, એ બધા જે કર્મો જે છે તેની અંદર હું તો ઇનડિફરન્ટ છું. મારે કઈ લેવા દેવા નથી. કોઈને એમ થાય કે આવું તે કેવી રીતે ચાલતું હશે? ના, ચાલે છે. The sun make the ocean water hot, but the sun doesn't do that. He is only there. પાણી ગરમ થયા કરે એની જાતે. તેમાં એને શું? એ સન તો જોતો નથી એને કે આ હું છું એટલે પાણી ગરમ થયું, તો હું છું એટલે પાણી ગરમ થયું, તેમાં મારે શી લેવા દેવા? એ દિવાસળી ચાપીને કઈ સ્ટવ સળગાવવા ગયો નહીં સાગરની અંદર કે પાણી હવે ગરમ કરવાનું છે હવે કીટલીમાં. Not like that. That is the understanding. So there is a lot of humorous things also here. It makes you like, oh man, what a guy he is. You feel like, what a guy, and then you definitely would fall in love with him. Oh, what a guy. I like him, something like that, So let's keep on moving here. Now he is saying, oh, હવે બીજી વાત કરશે. મયી અધ્યક્ષેણ, મારા સુપરવિઝન હેઠળ જ. મયી અધ્યક્ષેણ પ્રકૃતિ સૂયતે સચરાચરમ. All this moving and unmoving is produced by the Prakriti, but that Prakriti is producing under my supervision. હેતુના અનેન કોંતેય જગત વિપરિવર્તતે. અને આમ ને આમ જગત ચાલ્યા જ કરે છે. ઓહો, કેટલી બધી સરળતાથી એ કહી જાય છે. અવજાનંતિ મામ મૂઢા માનુષીમ તનુમ આશ્રિતમ. અને એણે અહીંયા પાછી બીજી ચોખવટ કરી કે જે ડેલ્યુટેડ માઇન્ડ જે છે તેને તો ખબર પડતી જ નથી કે હું આ મનુષ્ય દેહની અંદર છું, પણ હું અદ્વૈત અનંત છું એની ખબર પડતી નથી. તનુમ આશ્રિતમ, તનુમ એટલે આ દેહની અંદર છું, મનુષ્ય સ્વરૂપની અંદર છું. એટલે જે deluded means કે મોહિત થયેલા માણસો, જેને હું મનુષ્ય જ દેખાઉં છું. પરમ ભાવમ અજાનંતઃ મમ ભૂત મહેશ્વરમ. ભૂત મહેશ્વર, the great lord of beings. પણ હું great lord of beings છું. તે સુપ્રીમ ભાવ એ લોકોને દેખાતો નથી. એટલે એને ચોખવટ કરી કે ભાઈ એ નથી દેખાતો. I will touch this stanza 12 and probably will stop here. મોગાશા મોગ કર્મણઃ. એટલે મોગાશા means ખોટી આશા, of vain, જેને ખોટી આશા હોય. મોગ કર્મણઃ, મોગ જ્ઞાનઃ, વિચેતસઃ, રાક્ષસીમ આસુરી ચ એવ પ્રકૃતિ મોહિની શ્રિતાઃ. Of vain hopes, of vain actions, of vain knowledge. Vichetasah, devoid of discrimination. Supporting all these things are the qualities of Rakshas and Asuras. So there are people who have like a wrong notion about myself. On the other hand, though, Mahatmanah tu mam partha devim prakritim asritaha bhajanti ananya manasah gnatva bhutadim avyayam. So he is glorifying the Mahatmas. So he is saying, but the Mahatmas, O Parth, taking support of the divine nature, worship me with single mind, knowing me as the immutable and the source of all beings. So there are two kinds of people, the Asuri qualities and the Mahatmas. They have different ways of visualizing me. Even though I am in a human body, they can perceive me by by the support of their supreme mind and the supreme logic. But at the other hand, the ignorant people, they only see me in the human form. So we will end at this stanza number 13. But you are seeing now how he is progressing slowly. And that is how we will continue next time. But if you have a bit of confusion, question, whatever, we can go over that. And after that, we will have the closing prayer. So anybody, anything? Okay, look like there is no question. So we will do the closing prayer, and then we will close our session. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma mrutagamaya. Om purnamadah purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. Om. Okay, so that is the end of today's session, and we will see you all next week then. So I'm closing now.
Thank you.